Oops. Hold on. Woohoo! We're back. I'm back. The world is back. Hello. Welcome to the letter. I did no setting changes, so I'm hoping it's fine sounding. Let me do the old advertiser-oo. Give me one quick second. I'm gonna click away from this, so it's gonna disappear. Please forgive me. Thank you. Big thanks. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yo, fam, squad. What up? What it do? Holla. One sec. I am indeed live currently. Copy link location. Great. I gotta figure out a system where I post stuff and it's cool. So good, guy. I appreciate all the arts before and all the arts to come, if they to come. Kids, don't fight over me. Daddy Josh loves you both. Mwah. Yeah, probably at the same time. It definitely says Melissa's first on my end, though, so sorry, Nico. Better luck next time. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait just like a few minutes before we start. I'll talk about some shit, I guess. Let's see. This was fucked. Good times. This was fucked. Good times. I got 64. Oh, right, because I knew every path. That makes sense. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I know a small spoiler about this game, so I'm not big blind energy. It's all a lie. I don't actually know anything about the plot of this game, but I know one thing about the true ending. It was leaked to me, unfortunately. So here I am in life. I don't know anything about the plot still, don't get me wrong. I don't know anything about characters, what happens, etc. So, yo, Harry, what up? What it do? I just know one detail of getting the true ending, and I don't know exactly what it even is. So I don't know if I should say it in this chat for the world to know. It's very broad. You know what? I'm so confident on how broad it is, I don't really feel too ashamed in saying it, but do note, I do know there's one detail now. Yes, unfollow. The fraud I am. Apologies. And the one detail I know about the true ending is that apparently not everyone can live. I said it! I'm sorry, mute the chat, leave, hate me forever. All I know is not everyone can live to get the true ending. I don't know who dies. It could be fucking... What's his name? White racist guy. He could be the only one who dies. Maybe that's to get the true ending. It would make sense. Maybe everyone but he dies. Maybe random characters die. I don't know. I just don't know. Obviously, blind still. But someone told me you can't get the true ending if everyone lives. So, cause the FOMO of trying to keep it real alive. Yeah. Once again, I'm gonna just play blind. Obviously, still. You know. It might not be true ending. If I keep everyone alive and we don't get true ending, fine. I think it would be cooler if I naturally get true ending, but I don't know if I already fucked it up, because Isabella's alive on my end, right? Isabella? So maybe she needed to die and I fucked that up. I don't know. Shrugs. But I just wanted to let the people know that I do know that one detail, and that if I keep everyone alive intentionally, I will not get true ending. So, if that affects my decisions, I will verbally say it, but as of right now, it changes nothing. We clear it? We Gucci? Cool. We'll start in like 2 more seconds. But yeah, once again, like, I feel like that was a spoiler enough where it was like, you don't know anything more than I know after that, I feel. Like, it doesn't affect the plot anyway, to my knowledge, so. Oh, yes, Rose died. I meant of the main cast, but yes, Rose died. I'm sure other people... Rose, yeah. But I'm sure other people will also die who are not playable characters. But so far, of the main cast, nobody has died. Ooh, I should probably turn that off. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, it may not be... Ooh! I hope Code Vein is good for you, buddy pal. Shout out to Honey Pop. Good game. This is something I could change here. Boom, 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 boom. Long ago this mattered to me, now I don't care. Sweet. Great. Buenos dias. I wasn't sure who counted. Good to go, but cool. Okay, let's start the game. Ooh, Weeb Dark Souls. My favorite kind. Alright, where do we leave off? I forget. Wait, we're Hana. Alright, Zachary just left, I think. Call your mom. I did not call my mom! Which is funny because I gave you shit about it yesterday for telling me in advance. And it's the 1 week I didn't do it. So, got him! The irony. Delicious. Great. I think I read this line last time, but I'll read it again just in case. I watched as he went down the path back to Ashland Village until he is nothing more than a blimp on the horizon. I can't help the small smile on my face as I go inside for supper. I thought you'd be the invested to know that the item I sent back to Amazon UK almost 3 months ago did not get lost and actually made it there, and I am being issued a refund. Congratulations! I'll be real, I never trust international reshipping, so I'm very glad that worked out for you. I felt like we entered this scene last time, but maybe not that far in. Whatever. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment, I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and my unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find a switch, something that will never be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle and there is a distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me and only spurs me on in my search. I forgot about this awkward Don't you just love it when you get flirted on even though you're super not into it? Good times. When I do open the lights, there is a hiss. I'll turn the lights down, woman! I'm not gonna lie, that scared the shit out of me because I didn't think Luke was in here, so boom. Also, what is he drinking? Is there, like, wine this green? There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Oh, Luke, your boy! Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. Is there wine this green? However, I feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me.
Luke, what?
Slytherin juice, Slytherin juice!
Are you drinking absinthe? You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke. Are you actively trying to kill yourself?
Damn.
Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Damn.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me. Helps with a hangover, dearest.
Is that how that works?
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad.
Weren't we with him this morning?
I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem and...
Oh, I don't know, Hana, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
Oh, fuck. I want to say right now, I don't like Luke, obviously, for all his flaws, but his voice actor is really fucking good. My opinion. Take it as you will.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that.
Yeah, I hate them both too. Like, they're clearly made for me to hate them, so it's like weird, but it worked. It worked. Yeah, he's pretty fucking bad. I do agree.
You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Oh, shit. He racist, so... You know. Seems like the choice, but chat, what do you think? Question mark, waits for opinion. Hana's okay. She can get it. Hana can get it, but yeah, she's got her flaws. I'm not sold on her. Once again, you gotta compete against Marianne, so it's not fair. I see a point of honesty. I respect that, Gaia. Any other opinions? It's more, do we want him to be mad at us or not? Joshua sweats hard, fully well knowing the demonetization will happen, even though I don't make any money. I don't give a fuck. Okay, you know what? The guy, you win this one. I will say I was with Zach. Let me see what my heart was in for. Okay, it's relatively okay.
I was talking with Zachary, the photographer.
Gaia, no! That's fair. I mean, I saw that coming, but...
I have no reason to tell lies. It's not like I'm guilty of anything. But as Luke's expression turns, he makes me feel like I'm actually to blame for something. He has a way of making me laid bare with just a look. That had really struck me when we first met years ago.
That giant Negro?
Oh, no! Oh, God. It was a good run while it lasted. This is the end of my streaming career.
You were having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
I really like streaming. Those are good times.
What are you implying?
I'm implying nothing.
It's pretty bad. I gotta say, whatever Luke's actor was paid, definitely worth it. It's pretty bad though, guy. It's pretty bad.
I'm just worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup. He must have been really friendly to occupy your time like that. But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Buttercup. Here it goes again. Welcome to the stream.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning.
Hey, you right. 100%, Gaia. Not a place to say. But damn.
He'll go to his journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
Quick quid.
His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature, the grass and the trees, wonderful and breathtaking. Now, as I look at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke. I can't say the same for you as of recent.
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hana.
No. I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, right?
Trying to see how racist he is. If there was any ever doubt, I would like to believe Luke is at least on the more racist side.
Hangover forgotten during the course of this little spat, the man jumps to his feet and seethes. It looks like he's barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can find.
Oh, it is not a problem. I can stop whenever I want. And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes. Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Sweats hard.
Look, Luke. Nothing will happen. You have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
Well, now I think I'm getting jealous. Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Maybe you should drink more.
Maybe.
Supper was spent in silence with nothing but occasional sound of silverware.
He said it again! He said it again!
The grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway. Most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. Not compliments of stress, that'd be crazy. A platter of native oysters for starters, and shrines of turbot? with purple sproutings, broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. He reminds me of your mother? Oof. Condolences. Hopefully your mother is better than Luke, I'll say that. By the way, I've never had oysters, and I've always been interested. Just never the time or place to eat them. To finish all off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. That was fucking good. Racist without realizing it. I feel like Luke knows what he's saying, is the unfortunate part. I'm super into this shit right now, by the way. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of night, I sit in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There's nothing but tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. Ominous foreshadowing! Just super into racism. Interesting fact. Not really. To remind myself that his place is for Luke and for other children, future children, fills me with a renewed vigor. True, I saw him playing a racist game. I am playing the letter. Here we are again. There are some people who say insert word without realizing it's racist, actually. The hard ER, you know they're racist. I'll never understand that, but who am I to say? You know, I was raised in Clarence. Besides, it looks like someone is having a cry already. The wailing is far away and muffled. Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. Well, I'm trying to hear it. Give me 1 second. Sounds like crying? Whatever. As the suffering is just standing right now beside me, hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Oh no, it's a horror game! I forgot! Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sound into the kitchen. Get ready for a jump scare. This game wouldn't do that to me, Harry. Right? Right? And into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down into a dark and human underground. Is this guy not concerned with the sobbing woman's... She does seem quite concerned. I bet there's a baby ghost in the wine cellar. These are some more adulty cries, I feel. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I can't bring myself to go with this racket going on. If this is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. Sweats hard. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out over one thing or another. As professional as staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it's either Johannes or I who'd claim them down, who'd help them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, and I'm not as wholly benevolent. Oh shit! I mean, I will let chat decide this one. What do we want, people? What do we want? Call her out. Oh, call them out. Call them out. We got a point for call them out. Call them out's pretty good. Seems less risky than the other. Call them out. Open the hatch. Too obvious right now. Open the hatch. Oh, Harry. Get to bed, you weepy bitch. Call them out. Okay, I got 2 for call them out. I'll wait for one more vote to see how it go. How it do. Open hatch? Damn, Gaia, you want him dead. I think call him out. Open. I got 3 for open the hatch? Really? Am I missing something here? I do love fan support. Fine, I'll open the hatch for you guys, but this seems like a really bad idea. Like, super bad idea. But you know what?
It's what the people want.
I might be going down. There's no point in talking through closed doors.
Let it be known, the chat made me do this.
Or hatches in this case. The thing refuses to budge at first until there's a soft click and it slowly swings free. As I lift the hatch and look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me.
That's just something that causes the bad idea. Ah, that makes sense.
It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. As I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. I can hear her whispering, "Help." Calling for me. She wants me. Needs me. She wants to drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in her embrace till I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss waits, inviting yet foreboding. She's calling to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help, I do.
Should have just told her to go to bed.
But the shadows threaten to creep out, and a feeling of apprehension keeps me in place. Already it paints the room in a darker light. Remember when I said I was going to change my sound settings? I never did that. Yeah, based on the music, I think we made the right choice. It's like the dream all over again. There's a hook on my stomach as well, but this time it doesn't pull me back. Instead it pulls me forward. There is a lurching sensation, and the feeling that follows after is hard to explain. It feels like I'm watching myself from the sidelines, a spectator to my actions or lack thereof. I will myself to snap out of the detached feeling, to move, to do anything except stare at myself. For a moment I see the look of fear in my own face. I'm back to my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer the only one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling my skin, flesh, and bones. They are at me in every direction and it hurts. It hurts so much, but I can't bring myself to scream out.
Help me.
Yeah, I definitely see QTEs in my future. What? Oh, this is not the QTE I expected. What? Is that the game? What? What the fuck? This is typing of the dead? I wake up from a deep slumber. It takes a while, but the fog has settled in my head, and with my heavy limbs, I'm sorry, I didn't think the game would be just learn to type with creepy bitch. But soon enough, I managed to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. It was all a dream. I'm okay indeed. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide or hair on him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile is a bust, as it usually goes straight to his voicemail. Punch him in the face. It seems like he's gone. There's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today of all days is a bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as well. Well, I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Maybe he's dead? We didn't play as him, so it seems unlikely. Who's that blonde lady in the corner? Her right here? Isn't that the person in charge? Oh, not in charge. Who, like, owned this place until he got cursed or something? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Today's going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright Mansion. Every person of importance from Luxborn is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important regardless of their status in society. Mary Ann, Joshua's wife, and I discussed business and last-minute touches of the house before finalizing everything. Not that there's much change in our original plans. For any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete. I'm gonna check something real fast. I don't know why someone will play Mary Ann's route. If per this is correct, we play Zachary then Mary Ann. So, I'm sorry for lying, but I'm pretty sure Zachary is kind of a fan fave too, so we'll be okay.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion.
Hannah is stacked. Yeah, she's stacked. I can't deny it. But have you seen my wife, Erica? My actual legal wife? Thank you.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Her voice. Her perfect. Mwah. Well, now you've seen my wife. Please gaze upon her wonderfulness.
Luke and I had a small talk about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insist is completely practical. In the end, he had to he had to, whatever, it doesn't matter. I didn't give him any choice in the matter. He had to go with this, basically. She doesn't know that her coat has sleeves. That extraness is the power of Marianne, Erica. It's the best part. It's the wonderful part. It's the mwah. Marianne has the dark hair and light eyes that I've always liked. Oh, tell him. Preach it, girl. 100%. Woke opinion. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests to spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. Quiz S. You know what? I'm just gonna go with fuck yeah. I'm woke, I'm hit. This game is lit, boy! That might be a cape and not a coat. I have one like that. Ooh, I didn't know that. I feel like I should have known that. That's my bad. And if the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedrooms in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
Acquiesce. Ah, I can live with that. Assuming I said it right.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then.
Welcome to Tell Each Other Pronounce Words, the stream. Yo, honestly, like, how often does that word come up in your life? Because for me, 0. Never seen. And I'm cool with that. Correct me all you want, stream. See if I care.
Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
Jiggle physics is part of the horror.
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No.
Actually, it comes up for me. Really? It does? Dang. You know what? Claps all around whoever uses it.
Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I've already gotten used to him.
I sit on a daily basis due to my big brain. Nerds! Nerds! That's fair. That's reasonable. My big words are like, I used the word actually today, which is huge, I know. And like the other day, I used the word simply. I don't mean to brag, but my vocabulary is pretty on fleek. It's like compromise, anybody lose out on it. My life in a nutshell. Fuck yeah. It's like the phrase thank you, everybody. It's like the phrase giving it, but diplomatically. You know what? Fuck yeah. I actually super appreciate this, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even saying this sarcastically. I actually honestly do. Thank you, everyone.
I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to wrangle about how unfair this is. Wrangle? Whatever. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next party chit-chat.
Welcome to teaching Josh to read the stream.
Oh, as long as my viewers are happy. Vultures, a lot of them, really. Most of them, at least.
Wingdy? Really?
Wang?
Really? Is that how you pronounce it? I would have no idea. Wings. Like wine, yeah. Like what? Wing. Whatever.
Put your trust in the wrong person. You'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes.
Edge.
But Luke's just
Wine
being a
edge.
sweetie, you see.
What? Weege. British for wine. Ah, see. I'm that country that people never mind. I'm not gonna say that joke.
But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see.
That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
You said it right a second, though. Ah, go past me.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash and a bit too hot-headed in divulging details, but I found myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow makes me unsure whether she's interested or not. The perfect raised brow. Although she does make things better if she has no interest, and therefore has no hidden intent to utilize whenever I might say to her.
They've
Whatever I
been
might say to her.
married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch.
Hannah would not know.
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
Isn't this what they do in anime? Like, my friend has this problem with their loved one. Can't chat. All that word. The street.
What do you think?
What do I think of the matter, ma'am?
Story update.
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party.
Tropes. I mean, okay, do people do that in real life? I've either have never experienced it or never picked up on it. Mainly because most people don't talk to people about their friends. It's a cry for help. She just wants Marianne to take her arms. I mean, who doesn't, Harry? Like, there's a line for that. They do. I mean, I don't deny the fact it's possible. I just deny the commonality of it, if that makes sense. Marianne is like, can I be ever? Yeah, me too sometimes, Melissa, me too.
And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
There better not be something on my face.
But do people?
I wouldn't worry about
Do
that.
you really? Once again, maybe it's just because my friends are fucking weebs, so they try to not do the trope, which is understandable. I'm gonna click away for a second. Sorry, I just realized I had the tab open. That could make a pinging sound, aka Facebook.
You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am.
Because Marianne, I don't know all that.
I apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
Once again, I don't deny its possibility. I'm just saying, for my life, doesn't happen often. Maybe for other people's, it's like a common thing. You know me. I live an abnormal life. I'm pretty fucking cool.
Huh. You'd think I get a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately. Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better. But back to the matter at hand.
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Okay, fashion advice to the stream, which is very important to me right now. I love Marianne, as you guys know, obviously. Fashion designer, mwah, kiss, kiss, all that. Do you kind of feel like she needs like a scarf or like, you know, something right here? Is it just me? Like, she's perfect as is, but like, do you think the scarf would add a little? Maybe it's just me. Oh, you do live a pretty, yeah, easy, easy. I wish I had died to that just did. Eric, I tell you as it is. Ooh, choices. What do you guys think? Is she? Hold on, I'll make this opinion go away for a second. It's a fancy tie, really? I thought it was an undershirt. Hold on, okay, make a choice, we'll answer the choice, then we'll examine Marianne, which is actually not how I wanted that to sound, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's looped? Hold on, give me a second to check it. Yeah, I got one vote for be honest. Give me some votes. Honestly, we obviously wouldn't ask if we didn't want to be heard. Okay? I got basically 3 for honesty. And you know what? My heart is honest anyway, so let go.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to
Let go.
sugarcoat it.
Look at that big pro energy.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
Okay. Let's pause for a second. So, are you telling me just right now, just so I can confirm, that this is not an undershirt and this isn't like an open up shirt? Because the more you point out, the more I do actually agree with you. That this part is not just a fucking wrinkle. Huh. It doesn't look good. Yeah, I see it now, 100%. I don't like it. I thought this was an undershirt, you know, because it's like perfectly matched with like an undershirt. Yeah, I don't like it. She's perfect once again. She makes it hashtag work, but anyways, back to the game.
She hesitates, taking a sip for a coffee while I stir into my own cup of tea. The silence touches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question.
An ascot thing? I believe that sounds right.
I suppose I shouldn't blame her putting her in a tight spot like this.
You're right. I'm just saying she could use another scarf with her scarf. That's how I don't like the scarf. Like, let me rephrase that. I think a scarf would look great on her scarf. That's how bad her current scarf is. Could be an ascot, head size and fancy tie, but could also be a tucked-in scarf. Boom. It's really that's only one thing. It's because it perfectly matches as if she was wearing like a sweater underneath her coat, jacket, whatever, you know. Article of top wearing clothing.
I suppose I shouldn't blame her putting her in a tight spot like this.
I'm just saying, if your first scarf is trash, and it's the point where you need a second scarf, mwah. Yeah, by the way, this is exactly where I expected a horror game stream to lead to. Talking about scarves and fucking acquisite or whatever the fuck the word was. I already forgot it. This is important. This is super important. I can't be immersed in my horror if I can't talk about scarves.
Then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Fucking anime acquiesce, whatever.
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think.
See? No, it doesn't! Never mind.
Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital troubles?
I mean, everyone fucking can, I feel.
Surely we're not that obvious, are we?
Call out.
We put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It is a necessity in her career, and she's been working so closely with us. She's also perfect. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
As for honestly, a surprise when called out. Ray Charles? Damn!
Then I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle.
Yo, tell him.
But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
Oh, fuck!
Someone who won't even give him the time of the day.
Marianne's more keen than the average person, but yeah, it's like up there on the levels of obvious.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself.
Boom!
Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
I was with her till the fictional currency, am I right, everyone?
So you're saying they should divorce?
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Horror game.
But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships, so grain of salt and all that.
Yeah, she's actually gained waifu points as time has progressed, Chris. That's how waifu she is. Like, she was at the top and was like, let's not give up this lead. Yeah, it could be. Damn. She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. You should, Chris. That would be cool of you. Also, things you should probably know. Okay, let's see if we can give a quick summary for Chris without. We're playing as Hannah now. Isabella survived the night, to our knowledge. Rose is dead. Hannah, we play right now. We had an interview with Zach. Our husband is super racist. We bought the house. Cool. Being cool, not for me. Damn. Come on, Chris. Be a change of character for once. There's a calm despite the nature of what's being discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. Development arcs, ew. Development. But 7 years? 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where a relationship can bring us. At the same time, 7 years. Well, it hadn't been entirely made of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. The dread thought that those small spats, those little disagreements will turn into an all-out resentment. Maybe she should try being more racist. You know, try to just... Damn! The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being still scares me. I still can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. Sorry, I was like, what updated? When did he start seeing other women, lacking any ulterior motives? Let me click on this real fast, because I'm very curious, actually, what changed? I don't know. Everything seems the same. Whatever. I did not know there was a word for 35th. I honestly thought it was 30th for the longest time. Thank you, Gaia. I appreciate that. When do we start to cooperate only to suit our materialistic greed and attention-seeking ways? Money and success, fame and glamour. Are those the only reason we stayed together? There's a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
She's so perfect.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive, because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna comment the bites thing too, and I was like, I already made fun of her accent enough in the first stream. But yeah, sure, there's going to be a big to do at the party. Points. The party. Yes. I cannot voice Marianne's accent, so you're gonna get used to like a normal accent when it's her time around. The scene outside the parlor is a great organized mess. Besides our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency who provides staff for our enterprises in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move around in droves, carrying crockery and serveware good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children. He escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar. They produce the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails.
Damn!
Snails are for the dishes.
Damn.
A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Flower decor worth thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered around along the front way up front. A nice sculpture of a deer is brought in carefully by a pair.
Aw, this is why we play this game right now.
It is followed by a simple cake, just a 5-tier white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf.
By the way, I think gold leaf is super overrated. Who's the blonde showed in the right corner? We don't know. I believe he was part of the family who previously owned this house. That's all we can really say right now. Because this mansion used to be owned by some family that cursed it all, etc., etc. Just a 5-tier, a simple 5-tier cake, as you guys may know.
But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend to all of this, I find myself unable to care or focus for any of it.
You know, yeah. It didn't fill the entire room, so it's basically a baby tier cake.
I still have a discussion running in my mind, and looking at all of this, I only see Luke everywhere.
Thank you, Gaia. Oh my god. I thought I was alone in this world in that opinion. Everyone wants it for some reason. I don't know why.
These are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering with only a few selected invited, namely the people who I would actually trust enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed Luke Wright, and I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman, who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions.
I never had gold leaf and have no interest. Sounds like an expensive, bad idea. I've had it once, maybe more than that, but I only remember it once, and it's so overrated. I agree with everything Gaia said above, 100%.
Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I am today, but I wasn't all empty, shallow gossip, and sitting pretty. I was also lauded with my knowledge and talent.
This metal, why would you eat it? Yeah. Come on now, guys. Gold leaf. It's also plant. I don't want to eat a plant on my cake, thank you.
Finance manager wasn't just handed to me, just because my father owned the company. I insisted that I start at the bottom, and I work my way up to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends.
Is it in Goldschlager? I will confess, I don't think I've ever had it. Goldschlager, I mean.
There was a calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor, liaison, and public relations, supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I had already quite the attention seeker, even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looking for praise from anyone who will give it, however fleeting it was at all.
Maybe you're different elements, you never... You know what, you got a point there, 100%.
And Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest, he had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my flaws and my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, where we talked about everything and anything.
Goldschlager is like a cinnamon alcohol. Yes, I do know the appearance of it based on, I would like to say, a party in college. I could be wrong on that. Some party. It could be after college for all I know. Life is weird. My flaws, damn, Chris. But from things like business, society, and philosophy to little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we like cats or dogs more. Yeah, during all that talking, you didn't think it was gross how much of a race... I will say, maybe it's like a difference in the countries thing, but she did not seem that weirded out by the words he said.
We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I am Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands prefer wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who will always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needed to be home and attend to his needs, to have children, take care of them in his absence. I trust anyone who prefers dogs. It's a good pick, for sure. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's still, once again, even if it wasn't weird in the UK, it's still fucking bad in context. So, get out of here. Luke is late for the party.
Open the doors then. We mustn't hurry.
Cars line up in the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna repeat this later and blah blah blah. So obviously we're completing Hannah's today, guaranteed, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then we're gonna do Zachary, of course. And then after Zachary, which should be part 4, I'm going to take a 1 stream break just to fill out, play some short, quick, probably terrible horror game. I might play that Animal Crossing game, Gaia. I might play something else too. Combo it up a bit. Just take a quick the letter breather. And then we'll play Marianne, Rebecca. Hopefully no break between Ashton and Luke. It depends on how long they are. But that's just my plan right now. So I hope that's okay with everybody. If we're super invested after Zachary's, that might change. But I think 4 parts is a good, quick break. You only have 2 weeks left? 2 weeks is Zachary and then the other thing. Unless you really want to see Marianne's and Melissa. But I don't think we can do Marianne's in one. Which one is Husbando? Husbando's Luke. We get Zachary right now. Because I assume they're going in order. Once again, this order thing is a hypothesis anyways. Because we did Isabella first, now we're on Hannah, and this is how the order of it is, so. We'll make this work, Melissa, I promise. We'll see how it goes. Trying to rank games in League of Legends. That's the real horror game. I really love this line. Grand tours, supercars, and even the odd high-end muscle cars or two, convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen, being parked by valets. And down for a break, also not fair for fair. I might do it after Marianne if we can get it within the 2 weeks. I'm just not. I don't know how long Zachary's is the issue right now. And I just don't want it to be 3 months of the letter burnout. Me and You're Gonna Die. I did do a break between that too. But once again, all hypothesis. We'll see how it goes. I'm very invested currently too, don't get me wrong. This is not a commentary on the letter. This is more of a commentary on there's a lot of letter to go, you know what I'm saying? A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it's too troublesome to bring their own cars. And regardless, it's not happening next stream. It's either going to happen next stream, or maybe the stream after that, based on how far we get. There are at least 2 different media fans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxborn, so far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays.
Welcome everyone. Please, make yourselves at home.
Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm, if not strange sunshine we are experiencing, before gloomy skies inevitably return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power that the ties that bind these individuals here, whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society, such as that young man in his oriental air, ignorant of the looks he receives from the women and men alike. I don't understand this, but hey, you know what? Say the signs.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Man from the Orient! And that rose-haired woman talking on her phone, while she looks unsure of why she is here exactly. You know what? Maybe they are made for each other. You know what? That's fair.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Sweats hard.
I see Zachary the photographer as well. She talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah.
They are more alike than we thought, for sure.
Yeah, and the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
Why are they here?
And then there's our people like Chief Inspector. People who I can never be too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
They're both fucking racists. Like, I know if you're married to a racist, you're probably racist, but for fuck's sake, at least they're different flavors of racism.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies.
Yeah.
It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Yes, well, what about Luke?
Well, yeah, this is my last stream. Ignore all future stream plans. I will be in stream jail for the stream sins I've stream committed.
Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
Oh, funny.
He's around.
How much gravel in this man's throat?
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
I mean, we knew Officer Lee was sexist, like, the beginning of the chapter.
Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches. Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead. The man doesn't serve dodgy plum like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough.
It was Lee bad because once again, the characters are not a reflection of his VA, and I think a lot of the VAs in this game are really fucking good. Like, the only VA I don't like, might be Rebecca. I don't hear enough of her, and she is kind of bitchy sounding, which I think is the point, but I think all the VAs do a great job so far. I'll be real.
Could use a glass of wine or three, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out.
Threw her stilettos at me.
Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
Sweats.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? Well, I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Oh, no.
Haven't mentioned that I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so. At least he brought a gift, I
Why
suppose.
don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Think I will, thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in.
Well, not husband material, clearly. He's got his flaws. His huge, very apparent, quite cheating flaws.
Whether we have some short conversation or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them.
I don't understand. Why would they write a cop character to be sexist? It just seems so out of character of real life.
As the first hour passes us by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. And the latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to now.
Think I will, thanks.
Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. You make sure your guests are well fed and have good company and have them generally enjoy themselves.
I don't mean to comment on this, but holy fuck, are these guests faceless? I know. I'm being analytical, blah, blah. I was actually going to comment on this guy's hand, but I was like, actually all their hands are pretty fucking bad. But faceless too, I guess is the bigger comment, whatever.
So when my opening remarks were done and the band started to play and the guests are starting eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly until I'm pulled aside.
Racists are all the same is the message. I mean, they are all pretty fucking bad.
For a while, I stayed with a small group and entertained them before excusing myself. And when they're not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more than to make music.
The banker, and he got paid for more important things like this. Real talk, after all this talk about cake, I could use some cake. I'm not gonna lie.
One of our hotel managers worried about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing security which should have been brought up to higher authority soon.
Race is the same, they don't have nearly enough gravel so yeah, he needs more gravel in that throat.
Our mayor, well, his cat died. Well, there's this rose-haired woman once again. It's hard not to notice her with her distinct looks. She also lacks the grace the other ladies have, though she does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the ears she scoos instead are strong, and they make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach intrigued, though there's no great mystery what occupies her attention, with a glance she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. She remains unaware, though, as I stand beside her, pretending that I am there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up.
Upper class party girl shows up in a bubblegum pink sweater. I don't even think it looks that bad, but I guess compared to like these dresses, shrugs.
Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
Yeah, gravel her up.
The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and so I wonder if he doesn't hear what I say.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
In all my life, I've never seen a face grow red so fast.
Aw, girls.
The shade of her hair did not help as well. It's the most pink I've seen on a person, really.
Oh, what? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
That is quite the amount of cleavage currently.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
Oh, snap. Foreshadowing.
I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body.
Oh,
there.
foreshadowing!
I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It's chilling, and though I'm used to enduring the gazes of others, someone makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Not what I expected. Fair.
My pinches pull from the girl, and I see a woman staring.
Foreshadowing!
Dark hair and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest. And I have half the mind to call security at her when her mouth breaks out into a grin.
I don't know, I think you should call security not at the beggar part, and more at the blood and clothes part.
All I hear is her laughing. Taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I am nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement.
Simultaneous shadow.
It makes my hand shake, and I nearly drop my drink. But then in a blink, she's gone, and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but are you alright?
I was just being a dick with the art in the background thing for. I understand too.
Yes, sorry. I just thought I saw something strange. It must be the trick of the light. Anyway, on a right, as you must already know.
Rebecca Gales.
Gales.
Name's familiar.
Reunion?
Like a fond memory. I recall a kind lady, a private tutor, treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She'd even bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stovies, which I honestly hadn't been too keen about, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way. But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
Yes, oh, I remember you! You were the cutest little thing with glasses! And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A. What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
The more list of names, the more red and more quiet Becky gets. She starts to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash!
Oh, snap. Sylvie's Scottish dish featuring potatoes. Sounds delightful. I'll have to Google it. You know what? Fuck it! This is a derailed stream anyways. Fucking movies. Bam! Lego. Definitely not for me. I'm happy for the people at home who like it. This looks okay, this looks fine. I was more like looking at like, actually this looks fine too, I need this. I was looking at this and I was like, it's a little brothy. Not for me. Alright, horror game, right, sorry.
That man is that boy! The same one.
Is it safe for work off? This stream is definitely not for kids. I turn that on. Please encourage more random creator streams. I'll put up the forecast next time too. It'll be great.
Oh goodness me! After all these years, I can see why though. He's quite dashing.
I will say I haven't saved in a while though, so I'm glad I did that.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party.
The weather.
Right?
I have the AC back though, so I'm really not suffering anymore. Good times though.
Please, Anna's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky.
Is that how that works?
Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
Ominous foreshadowing!
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy endings?
This party sucks. I mean, no one's moved since. Come on.
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales.
Ominous. Sorry, I'll stop saying that.
And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right?
Ah, the line I didn't want to say.
You're not just going to sit there
That's
and
not
hope
mind
that
your
everything will
institute.
just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it.
You're probably happy endings this party though. Yeah, these happy endings are good. Happy ending, bueno.
But what do I know?
This is a grimace, though she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. Hold on, I want to see something real quick. Hannah is 31. Isabella is 26. So, is Rebecca like 28? She was tiny back then, if I recall.
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. But have you told him how you feel? And it's been what? 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense.
Damn, this is some anime.
I was hoping that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do. What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I? Whoever anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway. There's going to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my crush.
Sorry, I hadn't read a line for such a long time, and I was like, whoa, this feels weird.
I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress with the pink blouse and petticoat? She must have kept some of what I said in mind.
That's some of the things you hate as racism. Oh, damn!
It feels ridiculous remembering all of that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, as if it's gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Though looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say anything good at that time, and for her to take it to heart. And all that didn't matter in the moment as I mull over what she just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me. There's no time to ponder over that, however, as a hush descends upon the once lively crowd.
Okay.
The music of strings and chatter slows to a grinding halt as doors open from the foyer opens. It's probably Luke. The last of the latecomers have arrived moments ago. Anyone else this late would be simply too embarrassed to show their face. So this can only be one person, or rather one man. The only man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party. I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Unlike I who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew to its present, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his sportsmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks, how they listen enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hand here, a little smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that if he is not a businessman, he'd do well as an entertainer. I love the side of him, especially when he looks at me. He beckons me over to humbly share his place. Not a single second is wasted. I excuse myself from Becky's side, and I make my way to Luke.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen. If you would excuse my presumptuousness.
This is so cringy. If anyone does this at a party I go to, I will probably leave the party.
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
I know, Kurt, I know. There's a round of applause and cheers and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips. It's because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she's dangerously close with fury in her eyes and already spitting venom. Johannes restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. Oh fuck! Is this Lee's wife, Rochelle, I think her name was? That is little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. I will say the song bops. Although it won't be too late for that, as I see an empty glass of wine in her hand. Oh, this is bad. How much has she imbibed in?
Are you
Drama.
feeling ill, Rochelle?
Oh, it is Rochelle.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
This game is so un-American. Sorry, this is a serious moment. She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. I wonder, obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol in her breath. I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers, at least not yet, but I'm absolutely pissed by the fact that she endangered her own baby by drinking. There's a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must excuse while I wait for her tantrum to subside. Her eyes are shaky. Yeah! The animation really fucking good in this game. The art's really good in this game. Like, I gave a shit for that other scene before. I would just be an ass to be funny. Like, I thought the art's really fucking good in this game.
Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
Oh.
I did.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir. What is even going on?
I'm just about to ask the same
I
exact
don't
thing.
know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass! You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk! That's all it is! Just completely and utterly mad! Has anyone seen the chief inspector?
I am pregnant
Oh.
with your little bastard! You promised me you'll take responsibility.
Oh, shit!
God damn it, Luke! I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me!
Oh, fuck! Oh, shit!
What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman!
Oh! Drama. Drama.
Security! Yo, Hans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of
Yeah,
herself!
fucking Munter. Yo, tell him, Melissa.
No, you do not do this to me! I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours.
Oh, fuck.
Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
Oh.
Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
Oh. It is now returns from security along with a concerned looking officer Lee. They're going to leave their partners. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman.
Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man. Not that I believe Rochelle. Luke will he'll never go as far to sleep with another woman, right?
I'm so sorry for her behavior. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol.
He says she's drunk while pregnant. Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad.
Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk?
I don't not believe Rochelle. Luke, it's very in character of Luke. But definitely don't respect the drunk with the pregnant thing.
Of course, nothing but
The ramblings of a drunk. And, you know, obviously I don't respect the drunk, you know, with the baby thing, but, like, come on. Come on.
She's just jealous. Jealous of this wonderful marriage, the happily ever after I have with my prince.
Take that troll up out of here immediately.
Can't fight.
And see to it that she isn't allowed to hear or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
I mean, I believe Rochelle, but she can't accuse someone of being bad. Once again, she could have done this drama thing, and I'd be like, fuck yeah, Rochelle. But when you drunk and pregnant, it's really hard to take your side. I'm not taking their side either, too. It just, I take no one's side. I take this fucking couple's side. They look happy.
To be banned from anything with the right's name on it is basically social suicide. We practically own half of Luxbourne. There isn't a single establishment of repute that isn't under our patronage one way or another. This is mercy. I can do much worse, sir. I like this way she can just move out of the city and never ever return. I have stayed my hand in the face of her grievous fault, her bull-faced lies, when she deserves so much more. I can take away her business, have her factory shut down. It's too easy to ruin her life when she's just nothing.
Yo, Team Faceless people. I mean, yeah, they, see, they kept dancing during this whole thing. The fucking awful people. She were Luke. She obviously doesn't have good decision-making skills. Damn, Harry, you're right, though. Yeah, I don't think she's lying. Once again, agree 100%.
I can only see red. The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is nearly deafening. They're worried and almost fearful glances for some of the guests. Yet at the same time, I can hear them whispering. Just as long as they hold their tongues, don't interfere, none of those matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shade in his eyes. It's almost as if he's proud of what I've done, and that spurs me on more than anything.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
Oh god. This is a horror game.
It takes a bit for the crowd to stir again in the face of all that, but like most problems of the league, it's brushed under the rug and forgotten in favor of merriment. He offers his hand to me with a small smirk and a bow.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
Ooh.
Milady, would you like to dance?
I'm a ladies. I'm a gentleman's.
With pleasure, my prince.
I'm in a lot of pain.
No one's going in between me and my darling husband. Not Rochelle or any other rich, snooty scrubber. Not some common whore or an ambitious maid.
I hate them so much.
No one's going near him in that matter. Not while I'm around. This is so it hurts. If I have anything to say about it, no one's going to get near him at all.
This is definitely the scariest part of the game for me so far. I will gladly admit the fear I have. Let's save. This is a good time to save.
The day after proved to be a difficult task.
Princess Christ. My prince.
My darling prince is a man of many connections, a man of the people. He's always talking to one person or another.
Thankfully, yeah, I know, right?
And I'm always left alone, unable to stay at his side at all times. It's frustrating, but I have to be understanding. Besides, I don't see why he can't stay at home. The least I can do is make sure I have his time while he's here, which in and of itself isn't as easy as it sounds. Not with the bloody valet of his tailing around me.
Johans! Where's my tie? I can't find it anywhere.
Have you looked around your neck? It should be there if it's not on your clothes horse, sir.
It isn't often that I'm awake this early, at least early enough to find my darling preparing for the day with his valet attending to him. It's an old-fashioned way to go about the morning. He's about to dress himself, after all. But he says that it makes the day easier for him to have someone else do his tedious task, a bit with a grimace. Though if that manservant has dislikes the duty so much, I'll gladly do it in his stead.
I've got it, my prince. Come here.
Well, someone's up and at them especially early this morning, huh? Here I thought you'd be knackered by all the dancing we did last night at the party. And after that, well...
Well...
A saucy little wink and a smile is what he offers me as I draw close to fix his tie. And when the valet reaches out with his perfume, I quickly take it and shoo him aside. This close, his scent fills me with the smell of white flowers, cocoa, cardamom, and almonds.
I have no idea what cardamom is, so if chat wants to enlighten me, now's your chance. These are they're both really fucking bad.
It is intoxicating. And the sight of the two of us in the vanity mirror is picturesque and perfect.
I bet they fucked. I bet he came and fell asleep. Damn, that was like the sickest burn I've seen in a bit.
The main spice of chai.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Carrie.
No, I can't.
I really thought the main spice of chai was honestly called chai, and chai was like chai and cinnamon. Which in hindsight was pretty fucking stupid, but whatever.
You're dismissed, Shroken. I have this. Go on then. You'll be summoned if you're needed.
Makes sense. Also, thank you, Gaia.
There's a curious look for old brows, and before any sign that he cares is wiped from his expression.
Very well.
I am a big chai fan as well. I just don't read the ingredients, apparently.
If you need me, I'll be somewhere that isn't here.
Sometimes same, but not right now.
You could have let the man do his job.
And I say there's no need for him. I can take care of you just fine, my prince.
I don't know I don't look at the ingredients of chai.
Just where are you off to this morning anyway?
Sorry, I didn't read that line.
It feels like an eternity without him, and this lonely place doesn't feel like a home quite yet. Although the mansion is really growing on me, slowly but surely. I want to be by his side, yet he fails to see such an obvious thing.
Business. Where else?
Why can't you just work from home? You can afford to, can't you?
Business needs a firm hand and a personal touch, Buttercup. Besides, I can't stay cooped up forever in here. I'll go mad.
Well, you'll come back home as soon as possible, won't you? It's so awfully lonely here without you, my prince.
Stop saying my prince. I agree with you.
I could. I don't see why I should, though. This hasn't been a problem before. You know I'll come home when I come home.
Just get home as soon as you can. For me, won't you?
No promises. It's business after all.
Looks like BRB gotta go kill Mistress and Barry in the garden. See ya.
I can't just stand up in the middle of the meeting and tell them the wife wants me home.
Then forget those peasants.
He stops and stares, looking perturbed for a moment before shaking his head. Is he feeling ill? There's more reason for him to stay here with me, doesn't he? Just being a good wife, worrying about my husband.
Be good, dear. And stay safe. There's been all sorts of dodgy characters seen about the property. I'll be leaving Johans with you, just in case you need anything, and to be on the safe side, okay?
But I don't need a valet. I need you here with me.
He cries.
I'll be closing a big deal with a pharmaceutical company soon, if things go according to plan. Maybe, after that, I can take a breather for a bit.
No maybes. You have to promise me.
Luffy's like, please fucking love your white evil. It's so hard, guy, as you know.
I only need him.
I'm going to be late, Hana. The longer this takes, the later I'll get home.
Fine. Shall I see you out?
If that's what you want.
At the front door, his valet waits, ready to accompany him for the rest of the day when he's told to stay and attend to me.
Sorry, the music is weird. I paused for a moment. I still don't like it. Strangle them both. Oh, snap.
It looks like he doesn't either. But I ignore him in favor of the one that really matters. I hold Luke's hand in mine and give him a deep kiss. It makes my heart flutter as I see the way his eyes close during our moment of passion. Parting fair, I can only smile.
Have a good day, my prince.
Right. Off I go.
I'm not gonna lie, she seems different. Like, is it just me? Oh, we'll find out.
I still don't want him to leave. He should just stay. Forever. Oh, well,
If you could let go of my hand, please, Hana.
It's so hard to let go when I finally have him in my grasp. Much of Enter's car leave pains me so. It leaves me an aching, gaping hole like a hunger and a need. I'm not content with
If it fits you, breakfast is ready in the parlor, madam.
If anything, I'll be in a foul mood until he returns.
Leave and go practice your bloody sodomy elsewhere.
Okay.
Peculiar.
While I turn around to his head him to leave, he's already gone, and that suits me just fine. I want to be alone, without anyone bothering me.
She's... Like, she wasn't like this before the party, right? Right? Am I wrong? Am I misinterpreting her? She resmalls a small amount of affection and validation from yesterday and sees more love instead of coming to her senses and leaving. I don't know why I love that. That's terrible. It just seems so... Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep going, and then I'm not going to comment until after it.
I want to be alone with myself and my thoughts, with only these halls as company. These damned halls which will hold our memories, just he and I. There's no one else I need but my prince. Not some cheeky servant who's just living it up because he's Luke's right-hand man. She had doubts when he was talking to Marianne, but yeah, something at some point happened. Was there a choice when we spoke with Becca? Because she seems like hell obsessed. And she wasn't before. Like, she was like flip-flopping. And I feel like... Hey, Jim, what's up? Okay, as long as just you think she's possessed... Has the ghost possessed before? We'll find out. We'll find out. Also, hi, Jim. He deserves to be thrown and locked in.
Okay, Melissa, you might be onto something. I mean, yeah, I could definitely see the amount of time saying my prince.
This empty, lifeless room disgusts me. The longer I stare, the harder it gets to breathe, as if the walls are moving in on me. At the same time he pulls me in, I hear whispering, and curiosity gets the better of me as I look under the bed.
Yeah, Jim, you missed homophobia and racism, so you entered at the worst time. I haven't died, though, so, you know, pros and cons.
There on the far corner, a loose floorboard. The wood, despite having swelled and warped over the years, is strangely familiar, comforting in its feel.
I'd rather have died, actually, than the amount of homophobia and sexism and racism, so... We can count those as deaths if you want. Which at that point, I think, the death count is at 5? Maybe 6. Although it's not merely what my hand searches for as I reach for it. It takes quite an effort. Not soon am I able to lift it. Yeah, I super died during that part. It's the death of our souls. You all died with me. True love.
Inside, underneath the dust and cobwebs, lies a pendant, warm and familiar. I swear, if I close my eyes, I can feel it beating in my palm. I feel a thrill, though I also feel like a thief for taking this. But it's mine. And so without delay, I hide in our room.
This takes place in Britain, right? Can we watch? Oh, you watched the replay, Jim? That's cute.
In front of the vanity, I see the ways my eyes shine as I remove the clasp of my old necklace and put on this new one.
Right where it belongs.
It feels a lot better than the old one. I feel it as it weighs in my chest.
Right where it belongs.
No, I think she's fine. I think she's the same. She seems pretty much the same to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, so, let's just, well, we'll look at Zachary's in a second. Let me just, blah. Hannah's being asked to clean her husband, or she found an old locket, that's in front of rare, she made war, replacing with. Cool. Sweet. Art. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Anyways. Love that Hikara. Yeah, you know me. I love that fucked up art shit. Oh wait, let's read Zach's thing before we start, but let's also save before we start. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay, guess time. I'm gonna wait for chat to respond a few times. Guess Zachary's age. Is he 26 like Isabella? Is it stated and I forgot? Now's your chance. Look at your wife's scarf. Okay, you're right. I apologize. I was too busy about you guys. Okay, that's better. 100% better. This is what my wife deserves. And her perfect eyes. Her perfect eyes. And her hair. Mwah. 28. That's a good guess. Okay, I'm gonna be different and say 29, though I probably would have guessed 28 at first guess. And 27. I got 27. I got 28. I guess 29. I'll wait for one more guess and we'll play the game. And by play the game, I mean read the profile. By the way, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layer cake. Gorgeous. Delicious. And this deer thing. It was cool. It's like 40. You know, Harry, let's see if you win. Zachary is 31. Holy shit. What is it? He is much older than I thought. But you know what? Points. Big point energy. Okay, March 20th, 31 years old, height 6 feet, freelance photographer, American agnostic, diploma in digital film. I was the closest. And those were playing by like the Price is Right rules, I think, which I've never watched the show, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Likes pie, photography, filmography, documentaries, cooking, acoustic guitar, and video games. I am actually super glad we're done with being Hannah too. And we play Zachary, and next is Marianne. Oh, I'm not looking forward to playing as Rebecca. Hopefully she grows on me by then. I'm kind of looking forward to playing as Ashton. I am not looking forward to playing as Luke at all. Before his parents' death, he lived in New Jersey, where his family owned a diner and bakery. He and his older sister were orphaned due to a hate crime and were forced to move to England, where their grandparents lived. He had loved cooking and helping with his old diner, but grew lazy and disinterested after the incident. It did not help that he was one of the few blacks in a predominantly white community at the time. His passion for the visual arts was sparked when he found old Polaroids and home movies of his parents. Freelancing helped pay his rent, and the
man had set his sights on the indie film scene. Soon the creation of his first documentary that a robbery occurred, and Ashton was there to investigate. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time led to Zachary being placed as a suspect, but the rookie detective helped him clear his name. Cool. Okay, I have to keep going, because no offense to Zach, but his humming is driving me crazy. Faint and light and warm, and a reminder of what home is. Pa's stern and commending gaze, Ma's tender smiles, and sunlight filtering through the eaves of the morning. Yes, I do agree with that guy, 100%. And once again, I'm not sure if that's like a translator thing or if it's over my head right now. So, the distinct smell of a cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room, our room, Ma and Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too, eventually, but we aren't allowed there, not yet. Until we're older, taller or older. Until we've learned how to take care of ourselves and not burn our hands or reach the cupboards without having to be lifted.
But a little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying to say, I don't, like... Sometimes the racism's clearly for racism, and sometimes I don't know if it's written because they don't know, you know? Like, I know a lot of white people who say the word Orient without knowing. And, you know, if they don't know, it's still bad, but it's better than saying it with clear intention, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not justifying it, I'm just... Hopefully it was clear. The floorboards are cold under my feet, more than it usually is, and the walls are more forbidding than what I'm used to. No, once again, I'm not justifying it, just... Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases and...
No, please wait! I'll be good! I'll sleep on time! Don't go!
I can't hear Paul. Not above the raucous clanging and deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There is only the blinding fear. When my foot slips and the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, and the blood that drips in my hand is warm. It ain't my blood. Walls tumble and everything goes quiet. It takes a few moments for everything to fall in place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Yeah, we read it a second ago and I still wasn't prepared for it. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me and my blanket is a tangled mess around my throat. Sorry, I'm just looking around at his room. It's got cool furniture. I dig it. Morning has not arrived, and yet...
Way too early for this thing, man.
And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat and head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as my eyes open. Hope everyone is ready for me to be super critical about this, because, it's all good. It's all good. All too often, only imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of the day, or till my mind forgets about it. Egad, whichever comes first. Yet vivid or not, what little I can remember does not matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks clawing up and pushing and urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and... There's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks. Then a freshly baked bread wafts from the oven as soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come closer the moment he spots me in my little hiding place behind the door. I expect him to be angry, but his pat on my back when I come within my arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. Yo, for a little man, is it good enough? A knock cuts through the air before I can answer. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distantly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer it, but I know what waits outside. Taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grip. Something snaps back into place. My head remains in an utter disarray. The walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is as unsettling as ever. Ash is right. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart. Calm down. Breathe.
The pressure of my own fingers against my temple is a warm sensation over the anxiety gripping me. It never really did anything to starve off the headache sure to follow after this before, and it grounds me. A little reminder that I'm safe, away from the place I once called home, from Mom and Pa's. Urgency with each rap that follows finally chases away the ghost threatening to hang around. Why anyone thinks it's a good idea to knock at someone's door this late confuses me. Nana would chase them away with a broom if she was here. But no matter, it's a welcoming break for the thoughts around to take a morbid turn if anything left festers. It's probably just Ash anyways, he's looking for a place to crash. Looking for a place to crash. A wonder of wonders why he's bothering the courtesy when he never did so before. Even with that hunch, though, habit compels me to check who it is first through the peephole. Better safe than sorry, they say. Except the person that creeps me on the other side isn't him. Unless his hair grew overnight and starts wearing a ponytail, of course, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon. Remember how funny that looks in my head. What's the time opening the hatch?
Isabella, it's late.
So do we have the day? I assume not. I assume the bad. Oh, we do have the day. Maybe, potentially. Oh, I just didn't read this. Never mind. We don't have the day. I assume it's after the fucking horror thing happened. That would make sense to me. There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face is a pallid shade, shoulders tense, breathing heavy, and uncontrollable shaking in her hands. She's trying to hold back. Harry, this is not after. Yeah, this definitely seems like after her storyline. Hide, if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry, I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you are the closest to my office, and...
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought...
I have no idea why I went here.
My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and... Sorry.
She rolls off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I prefer to say more, but instead her only response is downward shift of her gaze, back to her still trembling hands if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. It's weird to see her in third person. Yeah, no, I was actually going to comment on that, but I was going to wait till like after the scene passed. Oh, it's so weird, but I like it. Her sprite's cool. Easy in the midst of one that's not paying attention. I feel like her hair defies gravity, but at the same time ponytail, so I don't fucking know. But I feel like the ponytail should go like drip down instead of like, I don't fucking know. I'm a fraud. Ignore me. I know this is possible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's like not possible. I just thought her hair. Fucking. 1 sec. Oh no, it's like this too. Okay, ignore me. Fuck me, I guess. For something that has seen the same expression in the mirror, done the same time, too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it is not. She might have. I mean, she looks like she has thick hair. I can believe it.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you knocked. Ash just barges in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it.
Damn.
I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal. Besides, you already know you can count on me whenever.
Okay, hold on. This is important. Wait, where did it update? Where did it update? Screams, whatever. Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter her over to the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only the clink of plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Late as maybe for a snack, the feeling emotions keep me occupied, steering my mind away from the dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reason for showing up here at such a late hour doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. The door clicks shut behind her as she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. All the years I've known her, she's never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, she stands in my doorway, holding her arms close to herself, as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years.
Do you want to drink or eat anything? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please. Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests?
I love how this is the most horror I've seen him, except for like 1 or 2 moments.
That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. Hey, feel free to make yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Usually she'd have something more to say about that. Sorry, I went female voice for like a split second. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch and the silence that stretches out until what we have left hanging feels disconcerting. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, as if only to keep the dead air at bay. How was I supposed to keep a conversation going when the person who you're talking to is like this?
Anyway, Gigs, can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my scheduled shoots shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property. Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world. The world itself moves for you, huh?
She curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring the tray carrying the sandwiches and the water she requested. She starts off straightening up as I'm unloading the contents, but pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home? Here's your water. Careful.
The tremor in her hand, though lighter now, still has inside when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she's quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of water. Or maybe she just doesn't want me asking questions. Worrying. This sudden loss of words, this bout of quiet, not normally present in our chats. Excuse me. Even the creaking of the old chair, which I usually take the seat as a welcome break. Though the company's familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
She doesn't answer immediately. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it's enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it over her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again.
Yeah. Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened.
Thanks.
To Rose.
Rose? Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before? Sorry, I'm better with remembering faces than names.
She was my coworker. That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Was? Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice. It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before. The bright red light from the dark room, the strange odor of the stop bath, the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and a glimpse of a bloody room. The news is everywhere, even the morning that follows. I still don't think its effects will strike someone this close to me.
Oh. Damn. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Zachary's voice actor, by the way, is really fucking good.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. I hope it will. Things might become a little busier for me, though. She left a lot of things unfinished. And I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works. Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest. Even the most hard-working people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
It's just for today.
Wasn't Bella, like, really close to getting fired? I don't think she was close to being fired, but she was very close to being not part of that big money deal. That much I did know.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night. Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait, please!
Oh, shit. Darkened face.
The vehement tension in her voice makes me pause, and it was this instant the mask she's been keeping off falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment we arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat continence. I assume that's the correct word to say it. Continence. With a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself small against the couch is telling
Bella,
enough.
This ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
The sound of glass shattering runs through the air. As soon as I hold her on, it loosens. I spend a few seconds, breathing grows labored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
She claps her hands over my ears, pressing it tightly against the side of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now. I can't shake it off. Everywhere's not safe and...
Alright, Isabella. Look at me. Look at me.
This is really deep. And by deep, I mean like heavy for the start of a chapter. Which, I mean, as we go into each person's plot, I get it, but damn. My hands are firm on her shoulders when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close, too soon.
Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale, hold, exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Kate, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the room before either one of us get hurt. The quiet hum of the AC is a pleasant distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than her ragged draws of breath, or my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick. As soon enough, she's already drifted off by the time I return with the promise of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, and the strain of her shoulder is gone. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She murmurs something I can't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed. She held herself tightly against the mess of blankets. Despite the fact that she appears relaxed, the frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. But for her sake, I hope it won't stay For her sake, I hope it won't stay with her for long. Because no matter what promises I've made, it's kind of fear no person should shield her from. I should know. There's still questions left to be answered. The late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Whew! Heavy chapter. Darkness immediately welcomes me as soon as my head hits my makeshift pillow. I only wish the dreams will keep at a distance for now. For both of us. October 25th. The first few notes, while muffled enough to wake me up. In the end, it became one of those nights where sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift my hand to rub away the dryness in my eyes, though it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but night has already given way to the cold morning light, washing everything in subtle gray hues. This hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button twice or thrice just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. The persistent ringing makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
Gradually, I scramble for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. Oh, it's Ash! The ringing still hasn't stopped, even as I fish the phone out, and Ashton's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Okay, do we reject, or do we accept, or do we even have a choice? Let me click away, actually. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough,
Z-Man. I guess I have the answer, never mind.
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. The sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet.
I see the sun, though. Lying Zach.
Stop calling me Z-Man.
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
Oh, got him.
You're one to talk. Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person, too, if I want to.
We do sometimes.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
Sorry about that. Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off. Do you have any idea where...
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently. You've heard about the Cooper one from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about recounting the last night. If I should even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place. On the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her the night before. Something during her sleep, she pulled up a blanket over herself and tucked it comfortably. Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edges of the covers, she appears nearly as normal as she would have any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Something. The worry, the concern must have surfaced in my tone because his own shifts then. Carefully, it's as if he's preparing for the
Look,
worst.
you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
She kinda knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that. And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out. You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my part. And I just didn't think, okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that.
Definitely before that.
I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say I shouldn't, so...
So something's wrong then?
I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
Really? I thought you'd learned something from me by now.
Damn.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
First time? When was this? You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there. We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out. I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
It bothered him. If the way he falls silent after is telling. Whatever his opinion is stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Right here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury.
Damn.
How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway. I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scared Cat's fine. Bye.
He drops the call before I get a word in, and after several minutes after, I find myself simply listening as the rest of Luxburn rouses. The increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby stops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their morning. Not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake up, blissfully unaware as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams as lucid? In hushed moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. A small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ash was effectively drawn away, any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghost hanging around. Proverbial. The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuringly against my palm, and I instantly pick it up. The sterile odor of the capsule is equally so. Yet the weight they carry is something I've never gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck even hours, staring at a single pill prior to taking one. Now it's just routine, a way to shave off the unwanted nightly visits. Although I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he finds out I'm relying on them again. I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose, ignoring his calls for weeks. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
This is a heavy chapter. Damn.
The bottom of my hand hits the table with more force than necessary. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself. Mental health meds are very important, for sure. And if this doctor, I assume, is a psychiatrist, definitely worth the call, assuming they're good.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
She answered the question with a long drawn-out yawn, one reminiscent of a child. I chuckle and manages to come out of my mouth at the sight. In this manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities, experienced and immature even. Easy to forget she's thrust into the role of an adult earlier than her own dreams can afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. We need a real story after that.
Damn. It's true though. I'm pretty sure the point of Hannah's chapter is because Luke is the main villain. Let me rephrase it. The ghost is the main villain, but like Luke is going to be super villainous, obviously. So we need. It's basically Hannah exists to give Luke context. I feel. We'll find out if that's true or not. Maybe not on the same level Ash exercise for his investigations, but Becca needs for her own work. It's certainly enough to definitely put what she sees around her on canvas. And if the way her eyes flicker on the table and my hand says anything, it is that I won't be able to avoid the questions this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed, though.
My doing. You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this house. My nana will give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
I like how there's a murder ghost running around when Luke is still the main.
I watched the anime cutscene at the beginning. I know where it's coming from.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime.
It's like Until Dawn. Like, the Wendigo is the villain, but that human character, which I won't say for spoiler reasons, though you should all play Until Dawn by now, he's, people remember him as the real villain, and not the Wendigo.
Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind.
Well, Bridge is worse than... Yeah! Tell him, Melissa. Tell him. Although Ashton abuses the anytime... Yay.
We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Everyday evil. That's the way we do it here, baby. No, it's definitely some characters are way worse, despite not being the main villain.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another curiously glance over the table, back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood blooming over Pa's heart, the horrified look at Ma's face. She watches him fall lifeless on the ground, and every ounce of spite is seeping from the stranger's smile. They don't belong here. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. It never stops, does it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well.
This is a heavy session, I'll tell you guys that.
Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture from her head towards the bottle, asking a question without really asking. Certainly has never been one of her greatest assets, but right now even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at a loss of words at that. She left up to me whether I'll give her the response she wants to hear or not. A little clever coming from her, if anyone would ask me.
I think in real life, I would say play it off. I think the right answer is tell the truth, but tell me what you guys think, question mark. Give me one quick second. While you guys post in chat, I'm gonna go to the bathroom very quickly. One moment.
Tell her murder ghost is nothing compared to the real evils of the world. She's like the person who wouldn't want to be a bother, so probably if I got up, I would pick the truth. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for tell the truth. See how real Isabella is. Worst case scenario, she's creeped out, then I think love Isabella. I gotta know now, right? Because right now I kind of like Isabella, so I need her real opinions. Let's see what we got. It went up! Fuck yeah! Hannah's high, Hannah's also possessed, and the rest are neutral. Okay, cool. Everyone loves Zach. It's never easy, ain't it? Talk about my own problems like that is. It never will be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago that the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence. Can't force myself to get better or move on to better things. It's what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact. But of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the few who perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. Let alone expecting too much for her and giving too much of what I can. However, of all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I can ask of her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
The pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closest to my laptop, near the right hand. Within reach, whatever, and a quiet reminder of what shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's. Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
I think it's kind of cute, and at the same time, I'm like, damn, girl.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, her smile honest.
Yeah, like, definitely tier list is best character, second best character, third best character. I kind of like Ashton. He's kind of an ass, but whatever. Becca has the potential to grow on me, but we'll see. And then, like, Hannah and Luke, I guess. They're both pretty bad.
As this is just a simple task between two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth of my mom and pa and that little old diner across the pond. What it left in me that day. I can recall most of it now, my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for one moment in the kitchen. The ringing of gunshots are as vivid as the sound of that day. Even Ma's hysterical screams the moment Pa hits the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from underneath him. And the gunman? He was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put bullets in Pa's chest and Mom's head. I've heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. I never believed until that
Nan
moment.
and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Mom and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me. They said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, and maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our heights, but it gets her sentiment across. It's difficult to answer this in kind, if I'm even supposed to reciprocate the gesture, even given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it's obviously better than what I imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really. Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Oh? Okay then. I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry. I'm not very good with this.
This is honestly probably the best answer you can give, in my opinion.
Who else knows, by the way?
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not right now?
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready. Like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah? Whew. Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected. I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons? But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face. Brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine. Look, about last night... Never mind. This isn't a good time, but don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out. And if you need me, I'll be here.
I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone, and knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. But somehow I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'm not gonna attempt to get a story out of her if I can. But this is a dance I know too well, and with her, I doubt forcing her to say anything would yield any results. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can do that won't result in something a little over disastrous. I bet she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I've never seen her angry. I was annoyed maybe, and often directed at Ash, but never furious. What do they say about happiest people when angered? Besides, it's unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seemed relieved with a brisk change of subject, and as if it's been simply waiting for its cue all this time, her stomach rumbles at the mention of food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Damn.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not that hungry. Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe.
It is a super weird sound for sure. But it conveys what it needs. Conveys.
I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach her ears. Neither. The answer is neither. Besides, if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about?
Damn.
I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
I like them together. They're cute together.
Despite the massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, the constant clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual. We've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. Let me check something real fast in the journal.
It's a Tuesday.
Cool. I really wish someone else will come knocking at the door. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. It's always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary he fell right back to sleep after his call.
Sorry, Bella. Could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on, I'll be right there. Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down, Ash.
Oh, good. You're awake.
Dang. Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's really been keen with the notion of courtesies after he's warmed up to you, this guy. All 13 of my locks were broken. He can attest to that. He's a good fellow, though. Maybe a tad standoffish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
I could ask the same of you. Hey, Izzy, man.
You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Damn.
Sorry. I got caught up with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Ah, my bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
You weren't picking up. Anyway, I'd really hate to cut this little get-together short, but I need to be somewhere else. Come on, Isabella, let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
Wait, we're going now?
He only claps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave at me as they pass. Isabel, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea, and sure enough, before they even cross the threshold, she puts down a firm foot down, the force low enough to halt for them both and catch the taller man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashes into her and Isabel giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprise and confusion are in his face all at once, two things that rarely ever grace it if he can help it. A rare moment even for our small group. If only I have my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
Zach cooked something.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
But the food! It's Zach's cooking. Real delicious food that actually tastes like food.
Damn, the food that tastes like food? My favorite kind of food.
At least stay and have a bite. Please? Zach, help me here.
Those two. Whenever they're in the same room, sometimes it feels like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One moment, they're engaged in a pleasant chit-chat, and the next, they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I don't know any better, I have an overactive imagination. I'd say there's something going on. Never mind how utterly impossible that idea is. Or it might just be me reading too much into things like this. I can already hear Ash's laughter, if I so much as suggest such. Yeah, if I made food with my friends, I want to eat it. Yeah, 100% agreed. Like, especially if I talk big on my potato cutting game and I don't get to eat it. Fuck no. This is not even a question. Sorry, I'm just gonna go with it. I cooked up a feast for sure.
I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really stay.
I didn't think
Already
Ashton
made
would
enough
go up.
food for all of us, and it'd be a waste.
Also, like, Isabel's almost a max, damn. I did not think Ashton would go up. I thought he'd go down. Yeah, food boy, let go.
Why, I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about. Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it, too.
Oh, that sounds so fucking good. Holy shit. The oven timer dings. I shoot the two of them an apologetic look over, sauntering over to the kitchen, mittens in hand. The sweet smell of the gaze and salty tang of melted cheese wafts through the air as soon as I open the door and take out the two trays inside. Zach is Dad Fred, and to many, he might be Daddy Friend, if you know what I'm saying. He's a big Hufflepuff energy for sure. She's Hufflepuff too, I feel. She could be Gryffindor, but, you know, it's one of the two vibes. The scent immediately fills the entire room, and even with the door and windows open, the mouth-watering aroma lingers. It's appealing enough that when I open the dishes down at the counter, another stark stomach protests loudly, followed by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them, and I can't keep back the smile the sight they make. Phil was clinging to the door frame for support, doubling over with breathless laughter. Ash is more composed of the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. It's clear whose stomach that came from, and Isabel's not going to let him live this down. Huffleclaw? I can see Huffleclaw.
You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything. Damn it, I just missed a meal, that's all.
Aw, he's flustered.
Shut it! Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
Didn't Zach say he didn't have any ingredients? He busts out a honey glazed ham. Glazed ham? I don't know, I say honey glazed ham, yeah. He said he was low on ingredients, but definitely apparently has enough for a honey glazed ham, so you know.
Well, aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Aye, kiddos, play nice. Food's gonna get cold if we keep this up.
Also, I think Ash likes Isabella. Yeah, there's definitely a love triangle going on where Ash likes Isabella, but Becca likes Ash. So, you know, fight. I don't know if Bella likes Zach, or if I just ship the two. We'll see as time goes on. You know, I get that vibe for sure, though.
Ash, you gonna stay?
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
This is what I live for right now. That looks so good. But yeah, Becca likes Ash, and I'm Marianne is unfortunately in a relationship with me, so everyone can hold off. And I don't really care about Hannah and Luke and their relationship, so buzz off. It's like a square. Like, I think Zach isn't into anyone from my, expectations, but you can convince me Bella's into Zach. Ash is definitely into Bella, and Becca's definitely into Ash. We're all, I is the collective I. We can all share Marianne because she's perfect. She has enough heart to share for everyone. We eventually settle down after the food has been served, the jibes replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly about what's on the news the night before. That looks so fucking good. There is, however, a conscious effort to avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines. Racco and Alice, good times. The dead is never a good topic to talk over. The dead is never a good topic to talk over food and public company. This case in particular, the wounds are too fresh too soon. I'd likely avoid it as well if I were in her position, and someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome matter like that. Though perhaps the closest we got to broaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we are careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing her late business partner. It's the least we can do.
Rights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned. It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh, now I get it.
Get what?
Remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry, I was a little out of it yesterday. Was it the photo shoot?
Yep, it's actually for the one you sold. Ermine, something. When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple. They can have those documents rushed at just a snap of their fingers. And they're more influential than I initially thought. And I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself.
Oh, she's so supportive.
Ma'am Hana's easy to please too, as long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes after all.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest. To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird. Still weird, yeah?
A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's ways, yet in this moment it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it. Rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs. It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Well, they should have one. Especially for a big property like this.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, This just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
Damn.
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup.
Damn.
That's a pretty picture.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
I actually really like convenience store food, real talk. If anyone knows me, that's 100% true. Since now everyone hates your noodles so much. I guess because you've been eating for so long, but I think it's a little judgy too.
What? How did you... Oh, come on, Zach.
Sorry, it just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Hey, that was an accident.
You were making a salad, Ash.
Dang.
Can we please move on to a different topic?
It helps, the small talk, the harmless teasing, the mundane stories interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at forefront of my mind. If it's the same for Isabella, for whatever troubles her, I can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, they ain't easily seen, easily forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach.
I like pick on Ash time. Same here, actually. They eat for a long fucking time. It's like fucking the afternoon now.
I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tosses over, but he doesn't give her an answer and waves her off to go.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Damn.
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you.
Damn.
See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
I grin his back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while, when we're left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can describe as trepidation. I know that look all too well. When he's talking like this, he's expecting shit to go down at some point.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple. I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
He nods, claps a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never good at those.
You really don't. I will say, Ash actually wins points in my book. One, for being super untrusting of the Wrights. That's the English I was looking for. And also, I really like his banter sometimes. I actually really oddly like him when he's not with Becca. Which I guess is a reflection of Becca more than Ash. He's also just really cringy at times too, though, so he doesn't, win all the points, but... More often he fumbles what he wants to say, but is actually alone enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door and doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back and gestures his head towards the table. I don't need to follow his line of sight to know what he's going to ask. He's likely taking notice the moment he enters the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please. Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that point, too. You know, he definitely has that vibe of oh, I'm smarter than thou kind of thing. But at the same time, at least his heart's in the good place. You know what I'm saying? Once again, he's not my favorite for sure, but he's winning points.
Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell.
Plus, I kind of like the moments when you tease the guy who thinks he's smarter, you know what I'm saying? I really like those moments in, games and mediums and stuff.
Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly. Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca...
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Thanks. That's all I'm asking.
This time when we reach the door, he lets it close fully behind him, glancing back. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A low note flutters by my feet, the letters on the surface glittering at me with mute intensity. Ermagerd Mansion, H. Wright, 11 a.m. for luxury living. It is really funny, I do agree. After Ash's warning, they all hold a different meeting now. The 2 days rush in a blur. He hums a lot. Anyways, the next 2 days rush in a blur. I'll wait for you to finish, sir. Although leaving a collective mess of work, suddenly piling up and new unexpected acquaintances or friends. Depending how you look on it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these pictures at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by overeager art director. Ermagerd! Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic
Doesn't
sometimes.
matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it's simply something I've grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. It certainly takes a while to get some footing on the floor, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as soon as you keep at it. Given enough time, you might end up with big names on your client list. Names like the Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or paper has something to say under their name. Party here and acquisition there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's everyday gossip that typically follows popular people like them. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that and the fuss that comes with it, leaves me no time to ponder over whatever has happened to Isabella, or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the
They
pair.
do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
Sure, there's a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it died down. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have any good points at all. Miss Wright, Hannah herself, though. She ain't particularly bad the way the press makes her out to be. The tabloids had it all wrong, that's for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, she ain't exactly what I was expecting. Among other things, newfound friendship from what I least expected from her, and here we are. The racism pretty bad, but at least it's only to Asian people, so it's fine at that rate. Yeah, Zach is too nice. Also, with a life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might end up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. The beep quickly pulls me back before my thoughts travel any further. Yes. In one practiced motion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding up on a drying rack and amble over my makeshift dark room to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. In its mouth, a lone photographer sits on the tray, barely visible with a lack of light. It's the last one tonight for the set Miss Wright requested. I don't usually make this habit giving away stuff, that is. It's bad for the business no matter how well-intended or generous you are. Well, exception, however. She did treat me well and was a pleasant companion all throughout the shot. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. And maybe it's just me, but for someone who has everything in the palm of her hand, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and plenty of big mansion to call home, she's lonely. She doesn't just appear like it. She shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always hidden behind the glamour for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these help. A little reminder the world can be kind too. Water just from the paper as I blindly pick it up, and gently lay it down in another tray holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few seconds under the situation is all it needs before it's ready for drying. No good rushing this last one, even if my body is screaming for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving towards it with familiarity while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on a dryer with the others. The bowl flickers twice before its glow settles, and casts a soft light into the small space. When I glance back, squeegee in hand, ready to finish the process and finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Yeah, I knew it fucking was coming. Her head is gone. Blurred and distorted beyond recognition, rather. The area completely squeezed over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A common mistake to make, of course, if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. It happened before, loads of times actually, but I still can't help but a small pang of frustration over one mistake a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach over to the switch again, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Memory clicks, one cursory thought in the sea of many, and a short yet distinct second from the day before. A glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. It was a shadow. This is a cool shot. No. A woman. In her 20s or early 30s, maybe? And with how far her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself had already taken a sickly pale color, raw in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion from her body. Bony hands gripped Miss Wright's neck like a noose, staining the skin beneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes.
Zachary?
Not for me, but for Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
Memory alone is enough to make me wrecked. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, were a product of the heat. The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. Just a shadow. Yeah, you know, just a shadow dripping in blood. Easy peasy. And while blaming this on the usual fatigue, an overworked brain, the weather, or an amateur error on my part is far more conventional. It makes a whole lot of sense when the small voice inside my head whispers, the same tiny voice that only makes itself known when something's foul, the same one that lent a curious ear to Isabel's worries about the mansion. And with each second I spend staring at this photograph, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. Someone has to know. I feel like we should tell Ash, but I'm waiting for. Sorry, I should have said something. People, what do you think? Yeah, sometimes when I'm just taking a walk, I see a rotted corpse grabbing a girl's neck, and I'm like, damn, it's hot outside. I've been gone since basically we started with that. What's happening? So he remembers that Hannah has like a ghost grippy thing around her neck. So, and he has like a photo that's like distorted right now. And he was like, should I show the photo to Ash or should I show Hannah this photo of her being distorted? So, part of me wants to go to Ash because we've already seen Hannah's possessed. And I know the times don't have to match. Actually, let me check the times real fast. It's the 27th. She got possessed 29th. So she will in 2 days. I feel the same Hannah if already possessed by the ghost. Yeah, I don't know when Hannah's possessed is the issue. Show Ash. Fuck Hannah. She's trash. Let her face has get haunted. Damn. I also kind of want to know more about Ash's thing, and I think we'll find out more about Ash this way. But I will say, showing the photo to Hannah is also very interesting as well. Keep Ash away from her racist husband. Yeah, I agree. Okay, you point. Also, Zach confided in Bella about his past, and they cooked and made fun of Ash, and it was cute. Oh, yes, thank you, Carrie. You're absolutely correct. I really liked that moment. It was nice. No, not Hannah. Isabella. Yeah. So yeah, my money is currently on showing Ash because I'm currently on the jumping off the Hannah burning boat metaphor right now. So I think I'm just gonna vote show to Ash unless chat yells at me, which I will go very slowly so the input lag will. Great. Bam! There we go. Ash will give me flack for this. He will. I can already hear what he's going to say about the moment I bring it up. Hell, before he even sees anything, I'll wager. The guy's a skeptic through and through, and it'll take more than my account for him to even consider this. But when you've been there and seen something enough to raise the hairs on the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, what he thinks the least is my concerns. I'm no hero. There's a title best reserved for someone else. So if it'll help him change his mind, it's worth a try. Isabel's gone and done the same, didn't she? Outside, the sun has yet to rise. I've still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about this with him. Plenty of space to check if it'll get the same result if I redo the process again. The film processor homes back to life at my touch. The light switch gives out a soft clink, and darkness embraces the small closet again.
Somehow those urban legends don't sound so silly now.
Cool. Okay, so I'm actually going to end it here. I very much apologize. It's a little bit earlier, I know. I just feel like the next part will go on very long, and I'd rather we end it a little earlier than a little bit later, you know what I'm saying? Next stream, we will finish Zach's route. I don't know how much is left, but I feel like we're pretty early into it still. So it might take all of next stream. And yeah. Please watch what you missed. I think we got some good stuff. I think I showed Hana, so this will be interesting. Yeah, this will be cool, Carrie. Carrie, and you did the next route, I believe, too, right? You did, oops. You did Marianne, if I recall correctly. So after that, I think it's all new for you, question mark. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so we're going to finish Zach's next route. Hopefully. I don't know how long it is, but I assume we have like a bit left because we've only done like 2 things for Zach. And then I think after that I might take the break and then we'll do Marianne. I don't know yet. It depends on how far Zach's is, right? Pirates Way through Becca's is 2 next. Yeah, if this is correct, once again, this is all assumption right now. Cool. So yeah. Perfect. I can't wait till we get to new stuff, but if you haven't seen this will be cool. So yeah, we'll finish Zach's next time. Please don't take a break that way. Okay, I won't just for you, Melissa, but you have to remind me next week because I will forget. Does that sound fair? Does this sound 100% Gucci? Okay, yeah, that's a reasonable request. We have to see our wife. I completely get it. That's very fair. I won't take that from you. Just remind me because I'll probably forget. Actually, I'll probably forget that I'll take a break, honestly speaking, so perfectly fine. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take a break after Marianne's. I think that's good too. We'll get off that emotional high and we'll reset our feelings. It'll be great. Thank you. Yeah, once again, thanks so much, everyone. I'm real talk. I get the viewers next to me on the left, and it's always really fucking high from my perspective, so I'm really grateful. You guys make this chat really cool. I would be talking to myself alone otherwise, and I already do that enough as it is, so I really appreciate everyone here. And I think things are going to get really fucking spooky after we get deeper in, because every chapter I feel like is a little bit longer in the spookiness, and eventually Luke is going to be full on horror, I feel, so it's going to be good. It's going to be a good time. But until then, I will catch you all next stream, and I'll see you hopefully in a week if you can make it. More of the letter. Lego, people. Until then, have a good one. Stay safe, everyone. Have a great night. And I love you all. Mwah. Bye.